What's up, y'all? How's everyone doing today? Yeah, we're finishing up this wheel today, boys. So hopefully it won't take as long as the first video. I think the first video was roughly around 44 hours. We're definitely not doing that today. I got about 3 hours of time that we can spare for this project. As you guys know, we did quite a bit of work in the first video. We'll just kind of cover a little bit about what this project is, how far we've gotten, and then we'll talk about the next stuff that we have to do. Let me switch to these scenes. I think I have everything set up properly. Should be good to go now. Yep. Viking, how you doing? Welcome. Let's get myself out of the way a little bit there. Yeah, I'm doing right. I'm doing all right. I'm short on time these days, man. So it's hard to get this stuff in, but I really want to get either finished or as close to finished with this project as possible today. So as you guys know, we'll do a quick walkthrough of what we did in the first place. Hey, what's up? Curves, Project Curves. Got to be a Porsche fan. You have to be a Porsche fan with that name. So real quickly, let's just talk about what we've done so far. I'm not sure why that background's so gray. But we've gone through, just so everyone knows, we're doing the Pokornyi Engineering FGT build. It's a do-it-yourself build, and it's really easy to do so far. In the last video, we've done a little bit of the PCB board build, and we have to do quite a bit more today, and a lot of wiring and stuff like that. So, yeah, we're going to try and jump back in. So in the first video, what we did, and I have an overhead video now. It might shake a little bit, but it's the best I can do. We essentially did the build of the PCB board, right? So the most important thing I think that we did was we soldered these connectors to the board here using through-hole soldering techniques, courtesy of some help of folks in the chat, like gentlemen from Grid, etc. But the moral of the story is we did quite a bit of soldering last week or 2 weeks ago. We added these connectors here, this row of connectors, that group of connectors here. These two on this side, one's the USB, two are encoders, and then we got more encoders down here. We also did the rotary switches on the front. You guys remember how much of a pain in the dick these were. But we got them done in the last video also. So we have all 5 rotaries perfectly installed on the front end. And then we have our funky switch PCB and our funky switch module. We got all that done last week. So I did a couple things while we're off video. Hey, what's up, BSL? How you doing? Nathan, what's going on? Welcome. So in the last video, we started to assemble the casing for this wheel, which is quite nice. I just wanted to see how it looks, to be perfectly honest. But the moral of the story is we may have gotten a little ahead of ourselves, but I don't think we did. So I installed the rotaries, the thumb encoders that you see right here. These are the ones that kind of sit in your hand as you roll, and then we have 2 up here too. So I installed these, but I did those on video, and I took them back out and put some thread lock in so it doesn't kind of back out. Because some of the wheels I have, especially the high-end wheels, I get a lot of, rotaries loosening up and what have you. So we put some thread lock there. Also, I put in the QR and the spacer I was showing you guys in the last video. So this thing is basically ready to go, and it looks quite nice. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do to finish it, but I think we're past the hardest part. You guys remember these rotary encoders? Definitely make sure you grow your nails long if you're going to do them yourself. But in general, this has been quite an enjoyable project because I'm learning quite a bit about like how these wheels are assembled, some of the build strategy that goes into them. And it's just a good learning exercise considering I probably want to do this a couple more times. So one thing that's pretty cool is that like, it's almost like once you do this, you can never buy a wheel again. So this should save me some money in the long run. But in the last video, or maybe at the end of this video, we'll quantify exactly how much one wheel with like a 1 unit cost type of scenario would be for this wheel. So today, I think we got to like page 30 in the manual. Yeah, we got to page 30. So let's just go through this real quick, make sure we didn't miss anything. Yeah. This is what we get at the end of the day. So this is where I'm hoping to get to at some point today. Some gluing needs to happen, especially with the grip. So we may not be finished today, but we'll be very close from what I understand. So like I said, I ordered these parts from JL PCB as instructed in the guide. The guide is very comprehensive, as you guys can see. everything you need to know about this wheel and more is going to be in this guide. So we've gotten quite far. Ordered our PCB. I told you about the issues I had with the PCB ordering. Make sure you double check and triple check and quadruple check your build and make sure that the components in your example here are exactly what's listed on the PCB website. And what else? I think that's basically it. This is mostly PCB board ordering. Like I said, you have to get a secondary PCB for the funky switch. That should be relatively straightforward. Hey Ninja, welcome. Thanks. It is a pretty cool project. I'm having a good time doing it. Yeah, we did. This is the process that you guys saw. It took 2 hours. It shouldn't have taken 2 hours. People with a bigger brain or more mechanical skills when it comes down to using these, trimming these rotaries down and getting them positioned to be. I don't know if I cut the shaft. We'll have to find out later. Yeah, it was not the easiest thing. So that was like the worst part of it, and it's probably because I just haven't done it before. We got all this stuff done. What page are we on? 22. And I think this is where we are right here, actually. Yeah, we're basically here. All right, so this is the map of the connectors on the board, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it should be, we shouldn't need to use this stuff now. So the next thing that we're going to do is do all the cable stuff, which I'm really concerned about because I've never done it before. And then the rest of the stuff, like the mechanical, screwing things together, soldering things, I'm not too worried about that. But getting this cable kind of conditioned perfectly is a little worrisome to me in general. I need to do one thing real quick. Please let me know if the music starts to bug out a little too much. All right, as you guys know, let me get to the different view over here. This is just gonna be basically me fumbling around trying to figure this stuff out. So as you guys know, I have this hoarding habit of collecting stuff. So we got our USB cable from Leo Bodner. That took about 7 days to get here. My magnets, guys, magnets still aren't here. It's been like 3 weeks. So like most of the stuff came within a week from AliExpress or other manufacturers like I think we used Mauser at one point. But the only thing that's not here, as far as I understand, is are the magnets. So we got all of our equipment here, some leftover stuff for the giveaway that we're gonna do. Blah blah blah. But let's take a look at this cable and see what we need to do. We're just gonna be reading instructions, guys. It's gonna be really slow, long, drawn out stream. So, you know, you get to see the real version of what it looks like. I didn't do any pre-research. I didn't build it before. I didn't do anything to kind of make me condition. I wanted to see how it's like to build it from scratch and just kind of learn on the way. So I've never built the USB cable connector before, but I believe it's pretty straightforward. Soldering iron's heated up to 380 degrees Celsius, which I think should be enough. You got plenty of flux, plenty of solder. Good to go there. Just need to figure out how to do this. Okay, so male and female end for the USB cable. What I think needs to happen, and this isn't rocket science, guys. Like I think you just need to loosen this stuff up, shove this in here through, undo this puppy right here, take that shield out, and then we'll run our wire through the clamping mechanism thing. Basically, this is what we're looking at here, guys. So wire goes in there. These screw down and tighten on the wire so it doesn't slip out. That's important for us considering we're going to be rotating the wheel quite a bit, putting some tension on that connector. So we want to make sure that that's done right. So let's figure it out together. If you have any comments, feedback, suggestions, like I said, I'm a noob. I'm just a regular guy. Don't know what I'm doing here, and I want to learn as much as possible. So if you guys have feedback or better techniques or see me doing something wrong, please let me know, okay? Cool. It's only a mistake if you do it twice. Doing it once is a learning curve. That's one of the best things I've heard all day, man. Love the mindset there. The only way, well, I won't say the only way to learn is to fail, but failing is the quickest way of learning. So let's try to get through it. Yeah, we should be good to go there. Let me know if the music becomes obnoxious or too loud. I need to have something in the background, otherwise I'll go crazy. So let's get this up a little bit here. Check my levels. Levels are ass. Let's find out. Interesting. Output mix, properties. That's why. Ear protection, boys. Let's check that one. Okay. Yeah, I think you guys should be okay. Alrighty then. So let's go back to the instructions and figure this thing out. I need to read this carefully because I think you can really, really do some damage if you don't do this right. So let's have a look. USB in connector on the PCB board. So when it says USB in connector, this wire eventually is going to make its way here. So that's important to know, just so I can plan that out in my brain first. Make sure the USB signals are connected with the right pin out, blah, blah, blah. That's goes without saying. You can really fry your board here, so this is spend extra time, I would say, on this for PCB build connections. USB standards, blah, 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 blah. So I think this is, another important thing. Don't cheap out on the wire. Don't buy like some bitch ass wire. Make sure you get like either the Leo Bodner one or the Pokornyi engineering one, because like that's the only way you can really make sure that you're using the right stuff. Otherwise, you may have a wire that's colored that may be a different purpose, and then have that burnout on your board, like I was mentioning. Okay, the second black wire in the USB is a shield. The ground wire has the same thickness as the red wire. Other black wires look different. You can leave the shield unconnected on the device side. Interesting. Avoiding the ground loop on the cable, but isolate it to avoid the shorter wires. Fair enough. So I have two black wires, and I think that's going to be a little bit confusing, but we'll figure that out later. Double check the cable that you want to use. Take care that there are different pinouts. Yeah, I think we got the right one. Our coloring combinations are also good. As you can see here, I think we got the same wire that's used as an example. GST colors and pinouts are random. Do not rely on it. Pictures show standard USB colors. Fair enough. Okay. Good to know. So let me reassemble this just so I can... What we're doing here is we're going to be connecting these to each other, and then one of these wires needs to go bye-byes, but I can't tell which one that is right now, so we'll learn that down the road, and this is what I'm talking about here. What's the D and D plus wires? Okay. Just do that now, get that out of the way. I really want to take my time here. This is going to be like the extremely boring. Ferrari choke out for the USB. No, there's no choke. There's none. Not on the Bodner cable I got. Maybe on the Pokornyi one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Accessories. Nope, there's not one. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's one on his also. So good point. If EMI is an issue, if you're having some challenges with USB, you may want to get this cable instead of the Bodner one. But it's quite expensive for a cable, man. Like that's like $20 US for a cable, and like shipped to the US, you're talking like $35. So we'll take our chances here. But good call out. All right, GSD cable. Okay. So we have to do two sets of wiring. We have to do the wiring of the connector to the cable, and then we have to wire the female to the board itself with, I think, 100 millimeter or below line. So let's continue to get on with it. Okay. So I'm not concerned with this side of it yet. Actually, I should be. Let's make sure, let's line it up and make sure it lines up properly. Here is... I'm looking at the, so all of these have like a little groove to get set that alignment, as you guys know from your other wheels. I just want to make sure things are lined up properly. And okay. Okay, let's figure it out. Any tips and tricks, please share. Please share. I'm not going to even try to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about here. One thing I think I forgot to get, which I may rebuild this cable later, is some shrink wrap. There's quite a bit of sliding. Well, I don't think that's supposed to slide, so we'll figure that out later. Alrighty then, so let's see. I'm just going by the positioning here. I believe. I wonder if you could see this at all. If there's any type of indication on what's what. Let's just follow this example because I believe it's the same. But I don't know. There's no marking on it to say what's what. So we're just gonna have to figure this one out. Let me get my solder and flux ready. We've got so much flux around here, it's not even funny. Some insulating tabs can eliminate this. Some insulating, I can't even see this because there's a freaking heart thing there. Some insulating tape can eliminate that slide. Okay, fair enough. Good to know. You don't want to know what my plan for that was. I was literally just going to say, all right, just put some electrical tape in there, wrap it around a couple times, and clamp it. This stuff is pretty yucky, so try to make sure you take care of what you do with your flux. And let's get this new solder out of the piece. Boom. And I think, and if I'm thinking about this right, well, this is for, if I'm thinking about this right, then I am soldering these two pieces together. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Let me get this on first, though. I think that would have been a big mistake if I forgot to put that back on. I think this shields it from making any connections with the inside metal, so it comes out when you take it apart. I think we need to put it back in now, but I could be wrong. I'm going to do it either way, this way, because yes, we need to do that. We definitely need to do that. Okay, let's start with the 5 volt. I'm wondering if those helping hands would have been nice right now. I'm going to start with the 5 volt because it's red, and you know what happens when. Oh, I'll scare you to details. And I believe. Well, I think as long as we're consistent on our side, it doesn't matter what these pinouts have from a just from like a labeling standpoint. I'm going to trim this down a little bit because it's a bit long. I don't want to have too much metal just hanging out there because it'll make contact with vibration. So let me clip those down a little bit. And maybe I could zoom in just a bit, but it may be a little wobbly. So please bear with me, folks. And I got to think about how my hand orientation is going to be here. I wonder if there's a straightforward way to do this. If you have tips on this, please let me know. Hey, no, Nick, thank God you're here. What's up, bro? Yes, there are numbers on the GSL pin location. Keep looking in there small. Okay. Well, good timing on that. I can't see a damn thing. Okay, I see numbers, but I don't have any understanding of what those numbers are because this didn't come with any like instructions or anything like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there like a expected order that typically happens with these type of connectors, or just let's look at this. It. Check the panel side on the con as well. No, they just have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't have just 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey Nick, if I even if let's say even if I do get a wire crisscross, as long as I'm consistent across my wiring, right? It shouldn't really matter. It don't even matter if I try to use a cable with a different wheel. But if everything's like in parallel, it should be okay. Yeah. Jesus, you do not want to do this stuff, guys. This is not the most convenient thing to do with such little connectors here. Okay, so I'll just make sure I do that because I can't look for this any longer. It's going to be, I will never see it. Alrighty. The hard part, I think, is taking the first step. We'll get moving soon. I think helping hands would have been really, really helpful at this point, but I don't even know if that would help with the size of this connector. So, um, right. The good thing is there's a bunch of solder on the wire already, so maybe we can get it. I need to find a way to fix this. 1 second. Let's use this little thing. We'll just clamp it. You guys can't see shit, can you? Oh. Is it okay to bend these tabs out a little bit, Nick? It's a bit small to work with. Helping hands do help, I think. I think you're right. I just didn't order them because I didn't think I would ever need to use them, but yeah, big mistake on that front. I could have them here in a couple of minutes through Amazon, though. Those fuckers are getting really good with their shipping. We were working on this one. Is that the right one? No, it was not. Let's just use this for reference so we can Start off. Okay, that's the 5 volt. Does it hurt to bend these out a little bit? Just a tab to get some more working space, or is that like catastrophic? I hope I can get a little bit of hope I can get it to stick just a little bit with this the tin that's already on there. Should I get a little bit of when can we place our orders for your wheels, Craig? Jesus, you gotta make I can't even get through the freaking soldering part. You don't want to order shit from me, bro. Um I assume it's relatively safe to kind of get some more tin on the end here. Is that let's find out. I'm gonna try and juice the wire up a little bit more. You guys can't see shit. Just to get some type of solder on the wire so I can get it to stick to the. This is not a good idea. This is why, guys, you need to respect your wheel builders because if they're doing this shit on a daily basis, it's not. Yeah, that's where your value is coming into play. Okay, we got a little tin on there now. That's a shitty connection. Yeah, that's shit. So, and I think I may have fucked up the connector. So let's take a look. I got a shitty connection here, and it's like melted to the no. I don't think that's good. Look how terrible that is. No good. But we're gonna. The good part is I want to use this to practice now. So like that's there, and then we can just get used to that because the second time's usually easier. It's like golf swings. It's hard, man. That was much better. I would also suggest laying it down versus trying to solder vertically. When vertically solder would flow down, as horizontal, it's still want to flow into the wire. Careful how you apply it. Heat because it melts the plastic. Yeah, I know. I just learned that part. Melted three. I learned three. All right, I'm gonna go for just two. One white, green, black, four white. Get you. You should only be touching the iron pin for max 2 seconds. This 10th should join instantly when the heat flows together in the solder. Should only be touching the iron to the pin for a max of 2 to 3 seconds. Interesting. As Tense mentioned. Hey Greg, the Gomez Expo Netherlands said it took them 90 minutes to assemble the wheel. That's a lot. 90 minutes is a lot of time, man. Geez, I didn't know. You would think that they would get a certain level of manufacturing precision. That's probably why this isn't a stream to talk shit on other people, but obviously we all know that Gomez is being made out of China now, right? And I think everyone knows China is like the kings of manufacturing. No one wants to sit there and assemble a wheel for 90 minutes only to make $300 when you can just have it done from other folks. So, Nick, thanks for that. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna use these pins as a test, just so I can have something to test on, so I can do it right the next time. And I'm gonna take your advice and do it horizontally. And as you guys can see here, I melted the shit out of the plastic. So this is dead. And Nick, I saw what you're talking about as far as it dripping into the housing. Like that's something I think I would be highly concerned with also. All right, let's try this way. Flux. And you only want to touch the pin for 2 to 3 seconds before. So let's get on the end of the pin here. I'm just not making good contact with this thing or what? Nick, do you apply solder before you add the wires, or do you do it like clean your tip, yo? Do you apply solder before like do you tin it up first, or do you just go in straight raw? Yeah, Nick is the man. You guys know who Nick is, right? That's what she said. That's what she said. Yeah, fair enough. Oh my god. Pre-ting is critical. Okay, so I should lay some tin down there first and then add my wires and let the tins kind of merge. Let's try that on the other side. Since I completely destroyed this connector. Look at this, it's getting worse and worse. We got plenty. Should I be using a smaller tip, Nick, with these small pieces, or what? Fuck you. Every time you make a joint, you should be cleaning the tip first and then applying the sorter. Okay. Luke Bradford got my coffee and smokes and enjoying the show. So Luke, how you doing? It's been a while. Well, not that long, but you've been around for a while. Correct. 2 tin joints, 1 to 2 seconds. Right. 2 tin joints will join in 1 to 2 seconds when solder flows. One joint to another. No smaller tip is required. Let's try again. Let's zoom in and see if we can get a good this right here. So I got my flux there. I'm going to put some. I thought the through hole soldering will be the most irritating part, but that's clearly not the case. Okay, there's some tin in there. That worked a little bit better. With the solder. Yeah, yeah. Not only just grid. I think, I mean, his history in the sim racing shit. Most people are like using some type of variant of the stuff that they worked on a long time ago. It wasn't just grid. Dude, how do I do this without melting this shit out of the plastic? Every time I try to do anything, it instantly melts the plastic. Fucking hell. I stop chatting. I stop chatting now. Way too many rums in. Nice. I drank for the first time in like 4 years on Thursday night, and I had three old fashions, and I felt the shit for 2 days. Okay, um, Nick, how do you get that to not happen? Can't really see it, can you? Come on. How do you get that not to happen? It plays too long. It seems like it's happening instantly now, though. Let's try again. Hmm. I got three more connectors left, so we gotta get this right. Drink. Hair of the dog. Yeah, man. I'm not. I had. I'm never drinking again. Night. Shit. Oh, this is extremely hard, dude. It's instant. Like it's instant. Okay, I see what you're talking about, but when I I see what you're talking about, Nick, but when I as soon as I touch this metal, the metal gets so hot it melts the plastic because they're like maybe I'll go down a little bit. I was at 380, I went down to 360. Since this is ruined, let me try it again, see if I can do it without ruining. Valid point from tense. What is the iron at? It's at 360 now. It was at 380 before. It looks painful, don't it is painful. You're on the hot side for smallest cable. Bump it down to 350 or lower. Let's just try another one. See if I can get it right without melting the cable. This is the part I was honestly. This is the part that gave me the most anxiety out of anything. I was like, Making a USB cable doesn't sound easy. I see what you're saying, Nick, about the 1 to 2 seconds. If the flux is in there right, it works perfectly. I probably want to put more flux on to do this, don't I? Oh, dude, that's much easier. I think I got it. I think I got it. You're on the hot side for some. Yeah. More than welcome to show. More than welcome to show the stream. Sorry, I missed what you said. This chat's so small. You're on the hot side for some. Let's get it. More than welcome to show the stream. Yeah, dude. If you, I mean, if there's any way you can do that, let me know. Oh, all right. I'll show you what Nick just showed me, just so everyone else can see, because I'm sure other people will have a hard time with this. This one. God. Okay. One. That must be the ground, the one you put to the side. And you do this for fun. This looks painstakingly annoying. I'm certain that obviously it's easy once you get used to it. What's the shrink wrap around the other wires for? Just to isolate them so it's not in the way and annoying, or? Alrighty, I got the second one down. It looks okay, but like I said, there's no, I don't have any shrink wrap, so I gotta make the connectors better. But let's try one more, and then I'm gonna pull out the next one, and then hopefully that will work. If not, we're screwed, man, because I don't have too many of these. I'm learning though. I'm learning. It's getting better. So the flux is critical, obviously. I'm gonna fill that channel with flux, Nick. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing, just so you know where my dumbass brain is at. Doesn't matter what cable it is. I'm just gonna connect a cable. So I'm shortening that wire down so that it's don't have any overhang. I'm gonna put some juice. 1, 2. There we go. Yep, instant melt. Cool. And then more flux. This is the Greg method. I'm not sure if this is the right one. More flux, because I think that really is critical for me. Okay. And then I will just heat the flux with the wire in the channel and hope that works. Oh, dude. Nick, man. GOAT status. This came out perfect, so I think I got it. Let me show you my work. So The last one I did was the black one. Obviously, there's a little bit too much wire hanging over. But that went in there nicely. Once you have two nicely tinned joints, you don't need to flux so much. Okay. I'm against soldering. Why do you need it with plugs? Why are you against soldering? Is it like something that's against your value system? So this is trash, but Nick, I think I got it. Watch this. Watch this. Let's do it right this time. Stripper his ass. Two left. Guys, this isn't coming in the giveaway either because I ran out. So, but I think we got it. First one was a shit show. I'm gonna save these for first attempt, second attempt, third attempt. The plastic is still getting a little warped. Is that okay if the plastic gets a little bit warped? Shorten your pre-tinned wire before connecting. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. Shorten the shit out of it. Okay. I'll pre-tin all these wires, and I think we're gonna get it on this try, guys. Pipe. Okay, pre-tin wires. Check. New connector. This is the one we're gonna work on right here. Let's get it right. My man. My man. So let's have a quick look. Cable's connected, no plastic is melted. We're Gucci. I'm happy with that. Alrighty then. Let's just follow this wiring guide, and then the next we'll just continue the wires and only use this cable for this wheel. It's not that we're gonna use it for any other wheel anyway. Alrighty then. So the 5 volt. Yeah. Okay, I did that backwards. I did that backwards. That was backwards. I needed to be working on the other one. But it's all good. More practice, the better. 90 minutes though. That's a long time to create a wheel. Okay. Got some excess solder there that I think is gonna be a problem. Oh no, it just wasn't done right. There we go. That's a better one. Okay, so the white D negative will be the next channel. We may still not use this connector, but like we'll inspect it after we're done. And then if I need to order more and redo the cable, then no big deal. This is just a cable. We can skip this section actually. Um, we may actually just do that. Just order some new connectors and try again some other day. This is like, I'm not too concerned with the USB cable being ready today or tomorrow, whatever it is. Oh my god, it's actually easy once you don't screw it up. Thanks, Nick. Right, how do I know which one of these black wires is the ground wire? That's my question now. I guess only fanatic thrustmaster and symbols. You can just buy these cool cables. Seems pretty hands-on from start. What do you mean, cables with the connectors attached to them already? Let's do the green one because we know that that's. Oh, I think there's writing on it. It's fine. Okay, so we got this channel is for the green puppy. Very nice. I didn't tin that yet. Almost made a mistake. Very nice. Okay. We got most of these, actually, three of them in. It's not the prettiest thing you ever see, but like, function over form. Now I gotta figure out which one of these is the ground wire. They're both copper, obviously. One has writing on it, and I can't exactly see that writing. Let's treat the one with the writing as if it's the ground wire, and we'll just do the thing with that one. Oh, no heat shrink, eh? Yeah, bold move, Cotton. So as long as your joints and shiny look proper, you're not rough with the wires and soldering, you'll be fine. The shrink tubes are certainly missing. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I didn't see an explicit call out for that. I'm trying to follow the instructions, so maybe I'll send them an email and tell them to add that to it. Um, but yeah, the only shrink wrap I have, I think, is red, and it's not big enough. Shrink wrap turn red. Yeah, for anyone that's visiting this channel, like this is you're basically looking at a soldering slash wheel builder bot that's trying to figure out his trying to learn his way through it. So once again, I've said this many times, listen to only the people that are in chat giving advice because I'm just trying to execute what they're saying. But I guess this is a true do-it-yourself experience considering making your own wires, right? It's kind of like very purist of DIY people, I think. I don't know. I don't talk to enough of them. All right, I want to get this right because I don't want to screw this up. Looks to be okay. Let's see what to do with this ground wire. Shield. Okay, second black wire in the USB cable is shield. The ground wire has the same thickness as the red wire. The other black wire usually has a different usually looks different as the shield. The other black wire, which usually looks different, is the shield. You can leave the shield unconnected on the device side, avoiding ground loops, but isolate it to avoid shorts. All right. So I'm guessing I'm gonna clip this down and figure out a way to keep it out of the way. But for now, let's close it up. Oh Jesus Christ, Greg. This ain't gonna work. Yeah. Here's the challenge and the reason why this is screwed up, and I need to do it over again. This piece right here, the cable shield part, like obviously you're gonna have to either tuck some wires in there, which can be a massive pain in the ass and probably cause some type of weird stuff to happen. Um, but this is why I needed shrink wrap to go further up here. So it's all good. we'll leave it alone for now. USB cable is done, at least as far as I'm concerned. But like the connectors came out nicely after we figured that out. That was like a little learning curve event that we had here, and there's still a little bit too much solder right there. But in my opinion, it came out pretty nicely after 3 attempts. But obviously the length is an issue here, so probably have to trim this down pretty short. Trim it down, pretty short. So I mean, we can be ghetto, right? We can. What is this? Okay. Somebody tell me how much of a problem this is going to be. So this cable started sliding off of the copper there. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, right? Slide some of it back on. No, you don't want to clamp onto the wires with the heat sink. You want to clamp onto the PO. Oh, see, this is what you want to clamp onto right here, right? That guy. Duly noted. All right, let's put that to the side for now. That's been enough of the USB cable, longer than I wanted to do, but we learned a lot, and I think I can repeat that. Actually, you know what? Should we try to get it right? Let's just try to get it right. Fuck it. It's not a rush to do this project. Just something to do. Perfect. That's your shield wire. Okay. So can I leave this part exposed like that? It shouldn't matter because there's no open connections here, right? I can just kind of tuck it out of the way and tie it up. Probably good for testing. Yeah, good point, Leonard. That's what we'll do with this one. This is our test unit, and that's the reason why we messed it up so badly. Um, yeah, okay, so fine. The next thing I need to do is what? We recommend the following wire: JST random cover the pin out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's the numbers. JST, did not rely on it. Picture shows twisted data cables. What's the twisted D plus and D minus cable? Why is that saying to twist it? What's the reasoning? Standard USB colors. Blah 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 blah. We just did this, so now we need to go look at the USB pinout. Oh shit! Wait a second. Hold on. This is to the board. This is to the cable. Okay, that's just saying to match the wires to the pinout on the board. Fair enough. Recommended max 100 millimeters. The X12 cable shouldn't be longer than 12 millimeters. Okay, definitely read through each section before you just start hacking at it. I think that was a challenge. I probably should have read a little bit further. We still have to get the cable to the board wired. And I think what they're saying is the distance between this USB plug right here, D minus, there's all your connections. That should only be 100 millimeters to the connector itself. Makes sense. And now you know why when you try to open up your sim wheel when you get it and it has that little, it only opens up this much, is probably following best practices. Okay, GX2 cable. I wonder, riddle me this though. Double checking the wire pin out before connection. Okay, so the other half of this equation is, excuse me, is on this side. We need to do the same thing with this with wires. One thing I wanted to ask any of the experts, twist data wires is to help with any EMI and helps keep the data plus and the data negative in their own little circuitry. Okay, that's very good to know. Very good to know. Um, question for the experts: the cables that you use with this, right? I was just gonna use some. I'll show you. Since this is a four-port connector, I was gonna use the same cables. Is there any issue with using? So here's how I'm imagining it, right? From the USB connector. So this is what I'm imagining, right? So I have these connectors that obviously connect to the USB cable. They're not the same colors, and the gauge looks a little bit different, but they're close. Should I? This is what I'm assuming I need to cut down to 100 millimeters. Is it okay to use a different gauge than the USB cable with the internal connectors? Because these are a little bit smaller. I'm not sure how much smaller, but they're noticeably smaller. And here's what I'll show you. So let's take the whites and whites. Come on, fucker. This I cut my nails and I shouldn't have cut it because I know I need them for this project. Like a dog with pads. Look at the difference in wire gauge. Is that going to be a problem? Won't make a dentist on it. Okay, on this application. Oh, good to know. So, what application would it make a difference on? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, 100 millimeters, 10 centimeters, boom, boom, boom. So, we don't want it any longer than this. Let me trim these off. I could probably save those for something else. Okay, so this is where we're gonna have to do some mapping, yeah? So since they're different colors, let's make what do we have here? We need this to line up perfectly. So that's 4-3. So 4-3 is red black. So we'll keep red black as 4-3. 3 red black. We'll keep red and black as 4-3. Yep. Let's double check my numbers again. 4-3. We connected 2.5. No problem. Sweet. I really appreciate the help, guys. Can you imagine how bad what I would be doing right now if you guys weren't here in chat? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to buy you a soda or something like that. You a beer. They're not copper either. Does that have any influence on it? With something like this, I would think not, but like maybe something more fine and sensitive. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to sound smart, I guess. Let's do the same thing. Same process because we finally got that to work for me. I'm not sure if that's the right one, but it was right enough. Juice that thing up. In this case, I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to the pre-tin in this case, do I? All right, comes into play. Higher voltage, higher amperage stuff, USB 5 volts and 5 amps is fuck all. Some of the USB hubs I've dismantled in the past with wire thin. Keep your mouth shut, Greg. When you keep your mouth shut. I think I do need to tint it a little bit. I'm not as concerned with this one because, right, because of there's no plastic in the back to kind of warp and create issues for me, I think. So I'm totally okay with this one. More tin. It's weird though, because these projects, like, they seem like they're huge and insurmountable, and like you start off and you have all these problems, and you realize like it's not as hard as you really thought it was. It's all just because you don't know shit. So I love the learning curve process part. I mean, love is a strong word. I like it because, like, if you just kind of push through, you know, you'll eventually figure it out. What you're seeing is eventuality right now. I think I got enough space. These ones are hard because they don't really have like a groove. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. There's a little groove in there. I didn't even see that. So let me show this in case anyone else is working on this and having the same problem. Like, I was going on the flat part right here. It's kind of like just a stiff piece of metal, but like there's a little groove right there. If you rotate it right, you can see a little slot for it. I think that slot's for you to kind of build up the tin a little bit. I think that's what it's for. I'm also going to plug this in the backside. So I'm going to try to get the juice in that tin, or in that little slot right there, so I can build up some tin and then get the wire to stick. Nice. That was not smart because the wire fell out because it's got weight on it. Ooh. Okay, one down. Nick, do you typically shrink wrap these components here too? Or does anyone? I'm sorry. I mean, I know there's other experts in the chat, so don't make me. Hope you guys don't feel bad because I'm calling Nick. It's just, but I'm wondering if I should have been, if I should have used shrink wrap there. Like that's gonna happen. Need a better way. Okay. Good. Good. We're gonna make the yellow one the green cable for our own mental reference. I made a mistake. I keep doing that like a fucking idiot. I don't know why I do it. Every single time I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't try this. It's gonna fall off again, and I just inevitably do it. Very nice. And then the last one is the white wire. Cool part is since this is like a snapping connector, right? If I start to get anxiety about it, you know how it is. Like you do something and then you say, "Oh, it's good enough for now," and then you think about it for the next year. If I decide I want to change it out, it's not like I have to like take away the board components or anything like that. It's all just a clip-in connector type of deal. So I can easily do this over again, which I probably will because first time never works out the nicest. I'm already thinking about things I would do differently on the next wheel. By the way, I'm giving away a bunch of parts for this build after I get it complete. I was gonna build a wheel for you and just give you a free wheel, but F that. I think it's more fun to do it yourself. So I'll do it. I'll announce something on social or maybe on YouTube or something like that. But obviously, anyone that's in the chat for the last couple of streams, you're automatically entered to get a bunch of Pokornyi engineering parts for this build, for your own build. Only thing you need to do is show me the receipt for the do-it-yourself files, and that's good to go. Very nice. So you did one thing right. The thing is, like, look at this. The first one we did okay. I'm gonna redo that right now because it's kind of long right there. Not sure if you guys can see that, but I'll show it to you. This part on the red, this wire is a little too long and hanging off. It's making me a little nervous. So I'm gonna redo it and make it a little shorter. But yeah, that was way more pleasurable than the other one. It's easy to take that off. Probably shouldn't be that easy to take it off. Get a little bit more solder in there. No, it's got plenty. There's plenty. And I think somebody really good at this would have had better tinning on the wires before just going balls in. That looks much, much better. Have a look. Came out pretty good. I'm happy with that. Cool part is now we have a connector for the USB cable. Plugs right in. This part goes to the back of the wheel here. Boom, and life is good. I'm not going to do that yet because I think someone that was smarter than me in the chat said don't do that yet. But the real reason why is because I think I still need to do some soldering. I'm not sure if this is going to use a connector. I'm pretty sure these are using connectors, these rotaries here. Can't see shit. These guys. So, but I'm not 100% sure I don't need to have these uninstalled before I do it. So, making some progress today. We gotta kind of have a USB cable made. I mean, this is kind of done. I can give myself credit for that. And we got the connector on the back of the PCB board, which I'm happy about. Exciting stuff. Alrighty then, let's move on. Encoders, these are the ones that are on the sides. The encoders have to be connected as shown below. The middle pin and the encoder has to be connected to the middle pin of the connectors on the common ground signal. Let's look at those because these are also. Let me organize something real fast. You can still twist the wires. Depin the connector and oh yeah, you're right. Depin the connector and twist the two data wires. Okay. You mean twist them on the right here? You're saying these guys. So the yellow and white should be twisted, I guess is what you're saying. Fair enough. Let me just do that now then. Let's just do it now. Guess who's ordering helping hands today, actually. Probably gonna do the RSR wheel next after I finish the button box. Correct. Use a pin and remove the wire from the white connector. Correct. Use a pin and remove the wire from the white connector. Wait, you're saying I should unplug it from here and twist it, or should I just undo the solder? Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. You're saying pull it out of the housing. I never have good luck with that when I do it with my car, but we'll try it. F it. Look at the connector white housing. Oh, you can just push those down and slide them out. Yeah. Roger that. Here's my screwdriver. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. These are pro tips, pro shortcuts. Tiny little tab. Yes, easy peasy, bro. Nope, that's not it. Should be in here. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. I'll figure that out some other time, Nick. I'm just gonna desolder it. Sorry. Just gonna desolder it. Because that will take me another 30 minutes to figure that out, and I don't want to do that. How tightly should I twist it? Google or Google printed GST connection? Sure. Yeah, I'm skipping that part, Nick. My patience is running short. Plus, I need reps. I'm sure the right way is to put a pin in there, pop the tab, but like my eyes suck. I can't see anything right now, and yeah, I'm sorry. I was just trying to save time, but I'm sure that that's the right way. Cool. So now we have a twisted data cable and oh, shit, yeah, twisted data cable, and it's separate from the power and ground. And here's our connector from the board to the back of the steering wheel. So thanks again for that. So I could tell you, I'm excited for one part, and that's like the actual buttons. I want the buttons to part to come quickly, but like we'll get there. I think I'm okay. Maybe you shrink to this time. Forget it. Yeah, I'll get them next time. So where would you do the shrink tubes though? Would you do shrink wrap on the very ends here and go a little bit over, or just never mind? We'll figure it out. On to the rotaries on the thumbs, and I'm already losing my. I need to slow down because I'm trying to push and rush. So um, let's just slow it down. So this is what I was trying to talk about before. Is let's use these. These are 3-pin connectors, so we have quite a few of those. Just move this wiring off to the side. I may need that for something else later. And my expectation is that I think these are supposed to be short also, right? Oh, no, it doesn't say a particular length. All right. So these are encoder 1, encoder 2. Okay, so 2 encoders are up here. So these are for the top right encoders. These are for the left right encoders by the thumbs. So I don't know if this has to be 100 millimeters or not. Let me go back to the top and see if there's any mention of that. Side encoders, 200 millimeters. Cool. Good thing to check. Oh shit, I am gonna have to directly solder it to the um to the rotaries. I can do that while it's in the board, I think. I think if you set it like this, here we go. I think if you set it like this, I can get. Oh, fuck it. Let's try it. So let's have a look at the wiring because we know that it's going to be consistent between the two. We have to make it consistent between the two. So encoders have to be wired as connected below. The middle pin of the encoder has to be connected to the middle pin of the connector. I wonder where it'll be. No. Here's a. No, let's see if it even fits in the first place. I was going to ask the team if there's a way to. Yeah, so those can fit on like this, guys. So that fits on like that, right? Can I do like just connect these two to each other without having too much like for example, like if I cut one end and I tin it in the middle, is that going to screw it up? Careful manipulating those wires without shrinking and wiggling back and forth. The risk of them breaking in rough. Yes, I would shrink. I would shrink. I would cut too small. This heart emojis in the way of your text. Oh, manipulating those wires without shrinking and wiggling back and forth. You're risking breaking if you're rough with them. And yes, for shrink, I would cut small tendons. Okay. What about joining these two like so? So I can use the connector here. Actually, that's kind of loose. Fuck that. We're not doing that. It's too loose anyway. It's not staying on. So we'll just solder it to those tabs as described. And duly noted about your be careful with the connectors. Noted. All right, so let's look at this. So COM is the center. COM is our black cable. And then AB. Let's start with COM just because there's no because. It's just because. Because it's the middle cable. If this one's a pain in the ass, I'll take the rest of them out and do it outside of the case. And the top ones I may need to do it either way. The right technique, but it is what it is. And I think I want to tin this guy down here a little bit too. We're definitely not getting the soldering iron up there. I have to take those out. Fuck that. Let's just take them out anyway. I'm being lazy. No point of being lazy. There's literally no rush to get this project done. Just don't want to scratch shit now. There we go. Loctite held up pretty nicely. Yeah, I'm gonna do this outside just because it's the smart thing to do. And we don't do many smart things, so we might as well start. Yeah, just careful with the iron around the enclosure. Yeah. That's what I'm worried about, because that was a good enclosure I had made. Alrighty then. It's visible. I don't really like this tip on this thing. It doesn't let enough flux out. Trying to remember to clean it, Nick. Now you're probably melting down over there. Did anyone catch the end of the race there? Most of us are Porsche fanboys around here. How tightly were your butt cheeks clenched in that last 5 laps? I thought the caddy was going to take it for show. Pleasantly surprised to see the 963 hold out, because I thought the caddy was going to win that race for sure. Also, did you guys see the Kevin Estra pit exit stuff. Nick, I'm sure you can attest to that. Actually, I'm not sure if you're a part of that team back then, but the first endurance race I ever did was in an LMP2 with your partner, and I came out of the pits with we were doing like triple stint tires, I think. We were doing triple stint tires, and I completely ruined the race for the entire team. It was so embarrassing. In an LMP car, cold tires. But basically, Kevin Estre did the same shit today, so I don't feel that bad. This is going to be hard because there's not much solder on these things here. Let's make red the A port. Solder on that. We need to get a little bit of rotation going here. We'll make the A port red and the B port yellow. Should flip this around, but this is not the way to go. What race? What race? Wait, are you joking or? The reason why I'm asking if you're joking is because some kid in my Discord, this guy, he's actually a really good racer, um, jumped in and say, "What race are you guys talking about today?" And we looked at him like, "Bro, what type of bullshit are you on?" It was a Daytona 24 today, in case anyone is serious. The best GT racing event on the calendar. Next, oh, I'm sorry, the second best. Road Atlanta is the best. Petit Le Mans. Okie dokie. So I want to make sure there's not downward pressure because I need to do something real quick. I need to get some more juice in there. But yeah, the Porsche 963 car is inconsistent. I mean, it's not. It's getting better, but it's nowhere near the dominance that Porsche used to have before. Porsche used to have before. And the 992 is really disappointing the last couple of seasons. But the last 2 hours of that race was really nice, really good. I thought 24-hour Daytona was over already, but that was just iRacing. Yeah, iRacing was last weekend, and yeah, we fucked that race up too. Oh, this is not a good idea. Um, Jews. Yeah, iRacing was the week before. The real one was this week. It's a little confusing with the roar, so the roar makes things a little confusing. I need a little bit more solder on that one. I think the middle one's okay for now. But this is one of those scenarios where helping hands would have been lit. Cool. Connector cable. Encoder. Are you good enough? So that's good. So let's get this back in here, and I'll put the nut back on partially, and then we'll tighten everything up later. Making progress. This also needs to be trimmed down to 200. Good. Let's try to tin these up better this time. I think that will be helpful if we focus on getting a better tinning on these. Daytona, Le Mans, etc. are too easy to drive. Maybe not enough drama. You know what? I wholeheartedly agree with you about Le Mans. I just don't understand what the. I mean, I know the history of it makes it cool, but like I don't like as a driver, like it's almost as bad as Spa, which to me is like the most boring racetrack of all time. It's like can't even build up the energy to practice. Daytona's fun though. I do enjoy Daytona. All right, next encoder. I'll be so excited if we can get the buttons on. If we can get the buttons on today, and then just have to worry about gluing. This thing's actually kind of helpful. All right. Let me double check something. So the bottom side, the right-hand side was red. Okay. Very good. Maybe this should come off and rub it. It's kind of hard to keep your hand stable enough with these super tiny cables. Keeping your hand steady enough to kind of let it harden. Oh shit, I knew that was gonna happen. I accidentally touched this black cable for a millisecond and it came off. Yeah, you're definitely not doing this process at all while it's in the housing. So that was jumping the gun a little bit. Adding a little bit more solder so this thing never will come off. They're very good. Wait, can you guys can certainly hear me though, right? You just can't hear this. You can't hear that. Sorry about the dry atmosphere. I thought the music was on the whole time. Let me check the other scene while I'm here. Oh no, it wasn't. Now it's probably doing the double. Okay, we'll leave these in there loose. All good. Two more. Scratch this box. That's unfortunate. I shouldn't have put these in first because I got some scratches in here now. You won't see them though because it's of the location. That's going to be right where the button is, but like I'll know they're there. Just do the other one over here. And these ones I think are also 200 millimeters. Let's cut off 2 of these. Ooh, that was a bag. Oh, it isn't. It's perfect. Alrighty. What are we doing here? So let me get this down here. Tip for you. You mentioned the Loctite on the encoder nuts. Beware not to use too much Loctite, as the Loctite can wick itself down the encoder shaft and seize up of your. Yeah. That's good to know because I think I put too much in, so I'll wipe it off. So you're saying the Loctite can eventually like work its way down into the encoder and then start to screw up the inputs? That would be terrible. It's not a good thing. Pro tip number 100 from Nick. .430. We've been on for just about 2 hours. Not too bad. 2 hours in the last one. We're still fighting. So I need to trim that down. We were still fighting the rotary. I need to double check something. I think I may have screwed up. We'll check it after this. But one thing I was making sure is that, like when I put these on, I didn't verify that these tabs were up and down, so like the orientation may be off. Bar is very careless and that big old dirty bottle block time. I'm just gonna have to I'll just have to maybe skip the Loctite or do it again. We'll see. And I think this is like like one of the most frowned upon practices with soldering. We put enough flux on the cables. Right. Okay, let's do that check right now. So red, right. Yep, they're fine. Could have been a mistake if I had them upside down though, I think. All wires are, I think they're on there okay. Firm enough. And then we'll do one more. Leave that there for now. What's on this thing? Shameless with this one. I don't care though. Works. Seems to work. think as long as there's enough flux on there, you're good, but I don't think this is the right way to tin a wire. Good to go. Last encoder, where the hell did I put it? Here it is. I feel like if you have a process, like I think that's the main thing, is having a process and just knowing generally what the like what outcome you need to have, because once you get rocking and rolling, after you get it done like a couple times, you start to like figure out the most efficient way to do what you're trying to do. At least with soldering and stuff, as you're learning. At least that's what I'm learning. Like if I remember to tin, flux, blah 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 blah, light attach, like attach it lightly, then add more after. I think once you get a good rhythm of that, you're good to go. Technically, too much flux on the wire results in extra solder flowing up the cable, making the joint stiffer and less flexible. The joint itself, again, pending application, maybe no big deal. I've heard people say you can never have enough flux there, and like I think with anything, if you have too much of anything in some circumstances, there's always a bad outcome. I really need to figure out a way to get more solder on these connector pins without them falling off. Nick, how long have you been doing this? I know you had the other site that we won't name, but how long have you been doing like just soldering and like RC stuff? Got some boomer level knowledge. That's why I'm asking. Is also done. A little juicy with flux though. Let me get that off. If they're on solid, I mean, it's not going to wiggle. We don't know what it's going to do, but hope it doesn't do anything bad. Alrighty then, let's get this thing back assembled in place. These rotaries here, boom. This guy goes in here, boom. Yeah, that would have been impossible. Boom. Starting to look like a wheel, guys. Or no, it's close, but. There was doing the chat last time that said, hey, I don't want to do that yet. Assemble the back plate. Because now I can't get the USB connector in without hassle. Yeah, I have to take the back plate apart. So we got 4 rotaries, 5 rotaries, 6 rotaries done over the period of 2 videos. Those rotaries are there. Let me get these things attached. Let's continue to look at the switches. Let's have a look at. The switches on the paddle shifts is how to be connected as shown. Analog hall sensor. Switches to paddle have to be connected as shown. Interchange with the parts without issue, however. Okay. Why am I connecting? Let me do a couple things. I'm gonna disassemble the back plate. Disassemble the back plate. Get the rotaries back in. Get the USB cable connected. Okay, it shouldn't be too hard. Oh, I missed one. Okay, let's put these screws and bolts aside for a second so we don't lose them. Let's see for sure. Lightly in for now. I don't see anything that will cause a problem. Let's tuck this away for a second. This is what we have to do. Oh, dude. Wait, did I completely fuck that up? I think I completely fucked that up. Because I did fuck it up. I think I needed to... Wait. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I needed to have... Let's skip ahead for a second. What? Where's the USB part? I know the first one. It's in from the outside. Wait, if it goes in from the outside, mount the pin. Mount the black paper. All right, so that's strange. I mean, obviously, I know what I need to do, but I'm wondering why. So, I mean, we can do it this way. It's no big deal, but I'm just wondering why. That's on the inside. It needs to go the other way. Pretty sure that's right. Not fix it. I like to have that little groove thing aligned at the top. So if we can do that, that'd be nice. Or bottom. Bottom's fine. So we're Gucci. We got that installed now. We have to go on the back side and we should be okay. Moving on. Let's go back. We were doing these rotaries. When do they install them now? So they get installed shortly after this. Well, I'm definitely not going to finish this thing up today. Maybe we should just cut it off now and then do the shifters and assembly next week. But I don't think you do the buttons. I don't think we even solder buttons in until like literally the very end. Yeah, the very end. Okay, so we're on page 25, roughly 2/3 through this thing. USB cable's done, encoders are wired, or rotaries are wired. Let's look at this. I gotta understand this part too, because it's quite frustrating. And these cables are super tiny. So the DRV Hall sensor has to be connected as shown below. Pay attention to which connection. The left analog paddle has to be connected with the ACH1 channel, ACH2 channel. Okay, so this is the 3. So these sensors, I don't even know, like, these Hall sensors are so freaking small. Here, focus more this way, so I don't have to worry about if something's in frame or not. Whoa. Sorry, guys. Big box of things. All right, look at this shit. Look how tiny this thing is. They're super small. I mean, for perspective, this is the wire, this is the solder wire, and this is how small these things are. So we can be sure I'm going to screw this up. So let's read the instructions, find out what we got to do. I can't even tell what side's up on these things. Yeah, I can. Okay. Let's make sure we're done here. Switches, okay. Our paddle shifters have to be connected as shown below. Connect the common C. Yeah. Alrighty then. Here are the switches for the shifters. You can't hear that because of the noise filter I have on, but that's it. And these have to be connected to these. I'm sorry, that's a complete and utter lie. These have to be connected to. Oh, these are just. Why aren't these in the assembly? This is confusing to me. All right, so we know that these are shifter switches, right? But it's looking like it wants us to connect them before. Let me look at the assembly for the shifters. Now I'm learning the opposite end. I recently soldered a 20p mezzanine connector on a 20-pin mezzanine connector on with a pin of 0.14 millimeters. So 10 pins per. Oh my god. You have the temperament for that. I don't. There's no way I can. Your 2-pin connector should already be soldered with this to the switch. Oh, okay. So hold on though. This is where I'm getting a little confused. So if they're already soldered, I'm assuming this wire will fit through here. Okay, it fits. If it didn't fit out, so we gotta connect these to that, or this to that, and then leave them as connected accessories. So what I need to do here is go back and check the length for the switches, shifter switches. 200 millimeters, good to go. These clippers suck. You're back. Can't find them. Not looking longer than this. I think I'm ruining it every time. So well. I had a nice pair of wire strippers. I just can't find them right now. Of course, they'll show up the moment I turn the stream off and stop doing this project. .14 millimeter, huh? Too damn small. Yeah, this is insane that something that small actually has a purpose, in my opinion. Generally speaking, I think I think I did most of this stuff relatively close to what should be done. Um, I don't think I made any super huge, like, bot level mistakes with the soldering and stuff. But I think if I was to do anything better next time, I would have been more prepared with. I probably would have ordered the helping hands. I didn't realize how annoying the wire, like the individual wire, like this. I didn't realize how annoying like stuff like this would be without the helping hands. Didn't really think it through, so this little tool is helping out nicely, but I think the helping hands is probably the way to go for like the wire stuff. Okay, let's look at the wiring for the shifters. What's the NC for? Okay, so we're only using the NO, the C and the NO. Oh, here we go. I can see it. Let's go. The weird part is that the NC looks almost identical to the NO. So look, use your brain or use your eyes there, which is obviously part of your brain. But let's try to. Actually, I think we need to go horizontal, like Nick said. Something like this. Okay. So what do you do with the other? Oh, these are 2-pin connectors I need, not 3. Tuck these away for now. I think the only thing that uses 3 were the encoders, so we may be done with these for good. These are what we need. Since I made that mistake, I'm going to try and cut a corner, and let's see how that works out. Just going to hold it and see if I can just... get some tip. So, sorry, let's see this. Shifter end. The switches for the paddles have to be connected as shown below. Connect the C, common, and normally open pins from the micro switch to the pin. You could interchange the wires without any issues. Ensure that, okay, so I think it doesn't matter, from what I read, it doesn't matter if this is like, yeah, it doesn't, oh, no, you know why? Because I think it's just showing the break of a current, right? So it shouldn't matter because it's one continuous current from what I understand. But again, I don't know what I'm talking about, so that could be completely wrong. Now learn the opposite end. Okay. It's not enough solder here. We get through it somehow, and this is the way I'm getting through it. Don't judge. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. What? Good enough. Switch is connected. Not pretty by any means. In fact, that's the ugliest one we did today. Do one. Like 5 o'clock. Chilling. Cut. This is so small, it's like no point even filming it. Put a bunch of, I'm gonna put some goop on there too. It's gonna happen again, I'm stupid. I'm just having difficulty getting a lot of solder in there, at least an amount that I think is right, considering, but this is only one way to find out if it's right. Right. Good to go. Two shifter switches connectors, the right length? Yep, they're good. Cool. Got through that. That's nice. Let's tuck that to the side. What's next? I was worried about that. Shit. Hall sensor. Hall sensor has to be connected. This is for pay attention to which connectors on the left and right side of the analog. Pay attention to which connector you connect to the left and right side analog paddles. The left analog paddle has to be connected to ANCH1 and right to ANCH2. Okay, so this is how they're basically saying don't screw this up because this is your dual clutch system. ANCH2. Let's look at the board. ANCH2. Analog paddle has to be connected to an ACE. Oh, yeah, okay. That's fine. It's just saying don't make sure you connect it right. Good news is we already have those 3 pins damn near ready for soldering for this one. How long does this have to be? Analog paddles, 100 mils, so this is significantly shorter. All right. So let's just look this through. So that needs to be 100 millimeters. The DRV Hall sensor has to be connected. Shown below. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. Oh, this is going to be horrible. This is where I have to connect this thing. I don't even know how to hold this thing. Look at this. Look how small this is. You ever see those little cute baby frogs that they see in the Amazon that will kill the shit out of you? It's like that size. I don't even know how to do this. We're gonna have to do this on the ground. So this yellow is going to be far left. Just juice it up first though. Same old. Okay. So from the connector standpoint, this one has to wrap around to the left side and hit this guy right here. I don't even know how to hold this. So, got the ghetto rig this shit, guys. Sorry about this. Turn your heads. What do you even do with this thing? Oh, I think I got to figure out how to hold it. I should have left that soldering in there. Bend pins up. Okay, thanks. I was gonna say, is it okay if I bend this thing out a little bit? Because holy shite. I'm also gonna do that low quality way of getting solder on there. Okay. So that was yellow. Got it. Made its way over to that cable. Having a brain malfunction right now. Don't know what to do. Try to get some solder on this thing. I think because it's vertical, like you said before, it's not staying on the wire. Take. Put the connector in place would be a better idea. Let's put the metal jizz back on. See if I can do it this way. I almost want to just sacrifice my finger and just say I'll just hold it and deal with the pain. Probably not a good idea, huh? I think this is a circumstance where the helping hands would be nice, so maybe I'll just put this to the side until I get a pair, maybe? Stay in place. All right. That's not winning any awards. That's for damn sure. What is the trick with this? Bend at will? Okay, cool. As long as I can bend them, then that's fine. I was worried about bending them, but holy shite. I would think it's probably good to use shrink wrap on these also. Look at this. Come look at this. These things suck. Not as bad as the rotaries though. That was the worst suck. All right, one more. I'm glad you can bend them now. I was worried about the bend. Cross to 2. This is where things get weird. Jesus. There we go. If you just stab yourself with the little pins and just stick it in your skin and hold it there, it holds it nicely. New meta. I don't like these super tiny connector stuff, whatever you want to call it. It just makes it really difficult. Relatively difficult. Went better than the first one though. GG's. So now we have 2 of the Hall sensors connected. Hopefully they work when we put them in. Yeah. Look how terrible that is. That looks bad. But, you know, it is what it is. If it works, it works. So 4 more connectors done. What's next? Updating the firmware. What? Is this thing ready to plug in? No way. What did we miss? I know we didn't do everything. We got the plug. It's in. I didn't need to do that yet. Just keep this off for now. Let's take it off. Let's hear that scratching. Hopefully you didn't. Okay. So we got a connector, we got a PCB board, we've got shifter cables ready to go, we've got rotaries done. Let's look and see what else is next. That's done, that's done, that's done. Both methods need the SM32Q programmer app, which you can download here. Nice. Oh, I bought one of those things from Amazon. Get this thing downloaded. Apparently, I gotta get the software. Get software. No, what the register? Little did you know that what? Oh, I forgot the freaking password. Workaround. Workaround. DSL, have a great night. I didn't even know anyone was still around. Thank you so much. Have a good day. We're not finishing today, but we'll probably finish in the next couple of days. Okie. So let me go find that thing I bought from Amazon. I think it's used to program the board. Okie dokie. Found it. All right, let's just get the software running. Boom. This is what I'm talking about. So I got this off of Amazon for $9. And I don't have the slightest clue on what to do with it yet. So, all new territory. Next. Okay, okay, let's read this carefully because I don't even know what the hell this is. Would you like to install this device software? Install. I should probably eat something today. All right, so let's do this part and then I'll stop the stream for the day and we'll just finish the assembly. Because after that, I think it's just stitching some things together. Go. Finish. What? This is the weirdest installation I've seen, period. Okay, let's see what we get here. New territory. No. Both methods in SU. Okay, so we need to look at this with the USB ARC. I don't even know which one I have. So this one's called the ST link. I think there's a different set of instructions for ST link, maybe. All right, connect the USB serial converter to CP2102 to the PCB board as shown on the following diagram. No, I don't have the USB ARC converter. I wonder if there's a different. Okay, here we go. This is what I have. You can upload the firmware with the ST link in the V2 programmer. Also, you can buy cheap. Scroll, heading off. Scroll down more. Yeah, this is. I think this is the one I have. This ST link V2 program. I don't know if mine's the original or not. Let's see. ST link V2. Mine's the Amazon version. I'm not sure if it's a clone or not. Connect the programmer according to. Okay, this is the one I have because I think if I look closely at this thing, I think I'm gonna need somebody to confirm this shit. But oh, that's why I don't hear the music. Connect. I got the 4 or 3 rows of 2 rows of 5 in there. I think that's clearly this one. So, and here's the opening. I'm just trying to understand what the hell he's connecting it to. Okay. RST ground CLK, DO. All right. So I think that's the mapping for these pins here. I think. So on the board, there's this right here, which correlates to this right here. So let me figure this out real quick. Need to get some things plugged in. Going to position. Was that 1 on the top right? I think that's 1. And Dio's going to 6. So green. Let's see. Excuse me. Black is going to wait. Doesn't matter. Ground is coming to here. Second one. So our ground's going to be red. Ground turned red. And blue is going to be right next to it. It's going to be orange. Okay. So we just connected these connectors in here in the positions that's located there. You're basically out of the... This is a 4-wire harness. And you have 4 wires coming out. You're using 3 on the top side. The side without the groove. That's what I did. At least the way I kind of looked at it. And then the first one is going to be the reset. So, and my red's actually black. All right. I think that's it. Connect the PCB to the PC with a USB cable. The board should be powered during programming. Connect the PCB to the PC with a USB cable, USB in connector. USB in. So I think this is where we have to see if my bitch ass cable is gonna work, because I don't think that's gonna work. I also need to connect this to the board too. So what we just did, we need to take that mapping back to the board. So remember, my blue was ground, or my red was ground. Red is ground. And DO is green. DO is what number 2? DO is green. Orange is reset. No, yellow's reset. What am I talking about? So reset is in the top right. That's yellow. Okay. And click is going to be here. I think I should... No, I need to keep that in. Connect the PCB. So I'm curious though. I'm confused because I don't see it. The board should be powered during the program, and programmer's not. I'm gonna get a USB hub. Use a good USB hub. Okay, moment of truth. All right, let's read this so I don't hear any pops. As long as it says you need power to board, as it says you need to power the board as well as the programmer. Note: just double check your cold cable connector soldering if you are sure you're a pin. Fucking send it. Let's go. Yeah, we'll hook this cable up last. So this needs to obviously go into a USB port. Yeah. Sent. And we need to connect that cable, but I'm concerned. Well, fuck it. Make sure I take the power out first. And just double check the thing. Connect the PCB to a PCU, and the board should be powered during the programming. The programmer is not providing the power for the board. Okay, so just to play it safe, I think I maybe should plug it in first and then turn the power on, maybe? I guess we'll find out. These are not USB 3.0 either, so let's get those off. These two on, everything else off. All right, if my stream turns off, or you see like a little flicker, we know if it's success or not. No smoke. All right, no smoke. Let's see if it picks up the device. Oh, software is tripping. Hmm. Well, we knew this wasn't going to work, right? So let's look at the error message. Warning: device change refreshing. Your connection mode is defined with HF reset mode. Your connection mode is defined with HF reset mode. Problem occurred while trying to connect. ST link error. Dev USB COM error. USB COM error. So it's having communication issue with USB? Try again. We did get error messages on the install. I'm not sure how much that has effect over this, or if it's something just generally wrong. Hmm. think. Oh. Can you see ST link in your device manager? Do you guys think this is because I have a bitch ass ST link? Like I got the Amazon version, or is there something? Maybe I'm not looking into the hubs there. Yeah, it should be. That's probably it. Yes, if you right click on start, you can access device manager. So you're not typing for it. Thanks, Nick. Device descriptor request failed. Unplug the wheel. Confirm what is throwing the error. Wheel is unplugged. That was that error there for sure. Technically, a STM with no firmware throws that error. Doesn't, well, the PCB needs to be connected so that. Okay. So I got the disconnect when I disconnected it, and I'm going to connect it back. Boom. There it is. Nice little beep. Can you see ST in device manager? No, I cannot. I don't see anything explicitly calling it out as device. Oh, there it is. Yep, here we go. I wonder if there's firmware I need for this. Let me go to Amazon and see if there's any firmware. Don't judge me off my orders, guys. Like, I ordered a lot of shit in the last couple weeks. Gotta find this one. No, provided by Porky.
Fix a clock.
All right, well, yeah. I think I need to do some research on this. Maybe I'll work on getting this thing connected offline so I don't kill any more time because we've been around for a couple of hours already. 3.5 actually. I don't like streaming anymore. I think what I'm gonna do is maybe figure out how to get this thing to kind of talk. It could be something that I screwed up, perhaps. Okay, here's a question. Should I be feeling heat on the back of my PCB board? Like, I feel, if I touch this area right here, I feel some heat. So maybe I fucked up the wiring somehow. Doesn't look like the wiring's fucked up, so it shouldn't be. There's no heat on the wires. There's some temperature here, though. Yeah, I need to figure this out. And I'm not going to do that anymore because it's going to be another 3 hours. And once you get carried away with something, you lose track of time. And I need to have some type of day left. So, guys, once again, I'm really thankful that you guys are hanging out with me. Nick, again, double check inside wiring of the GX12. Okay. Yeah, thanks again for the help, my man. Yeah, the looks clean. Looks good. Looks good. This looks even better. But there is quite a bit of heat coming off right this area right here. Is probably, I don't know what the deal is, if that's normal or what, but not a bit. Like, I would say it's obviously not too hot to touch. It's just warm there. Maybe you didn't get it all the way on in the first place. Let's try again. Cool. Yeah. Okay. I need to figure this out. And I'm not doing any more debugging on shit tonight. So we did make a good bit of progress though, right? We got all the rotaries. We got the rotary encoder, thumb encoders kind of taken care of. We got these incredibly annoying Hall sensors wired up. We got the shifters wired up. They look good. We built ourselves a USB cable that may or may not work. Who knows? And that was a good bit of work. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna figure this problem out, and then we'll start from here on. I'm not doing any progress while I'm offline. I want to do everything online. So maybe tomorrow, depends. We'll see. I really don't feel like making a cover, so maybe next week. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Nick, thank you so much for the help. Everyone else in chat, thank you so much for hanging out. And there's some incredible tips that came through the chat, so massively thankful for that. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll catch you at some point, I think, in the next couple of days. I hope so. Anyway, thanks again. Talk to you all later.